So first off, let's look at our MIDI settings on the fantom-x. So we're going to press the menu button, and now we're going to use our cursor buttons and cursor down to System. Now let's press Enter. And now let's cursor by using the F2 button and cursor down to MIDI. Okay, so now let's cursor down to Transmit, because this is how we're going to tell the fantom-x to transmit. Transmit program change should be on. Transmit bank select should be on. Transmit active sensing on. Transmit edit data doesn't need to be on, it can be off. Soft through can also be off. Remote keyboard switch can also be off. Now let's take a look at the fantom-s. First off, let's press the menu button. Now let's cursor down to System. Press the Enter button. Now let's press F2 and cursor down to MIDI. Now that we're in MIDI, let's go ahead and cursor down to the Receive section of the fantom-s. Remote keyboard switch should be off. Receive program change on. Receive bank select on. Receive exclusive on. Receive general MIDI system on. So these should all be on. Let's cursor back up. Now in the general section of the MIDI, device ID is 17. That's fine. Performance control channel. What that means is that if we want to change a whole performance through MIDI implementation, this is the channel it's going to react to. Now in our example, if we're just adjusting one sound at a time, we can put this on any MIDI channel we want. We have up to 16 MIDI channels. Personally, I like to have mine on MIDI channel 16, so it's kind of out of the way. Once this is set, let's press System Right. Now let's exit, and we're going to go ahead and press the Performance button right here, Layer Split. Now let's press F2 Part View, and now let's press F7 External. Now let's cursor down to MIDI channel 16. Remember, the reason we're doing this is because we told the fantom-s to react. Remember, we are choosing MIDI channel 16 because that is what we programmed the fantom-s to respond to. So now that we're at MIDI channel 16, we need to insert 3 different types of numbers: MSB, LSB, and program change. You can find these numbers in the MIDI implementation section of the manual. So let's program these numbers now. Let's cursor over to bank select, and the first number I'm going to put in is 87. The next number I'm going to select is 65. And the last number I'm going to select is number 5. Remember, we can choose anything from 1 to 128. If you have done this correctly, the fantom-s will be on preset B005 Tremo Vibe. Now that we have programmed that MIDI patch change, we can save it within the performance. Let's just press the Layer Split button. So all we have to do now to save it is press the right button, press F1 for Performance, and we can name it whatever we would like to name it. So I'll just name it real nice and easy. Press the F8 right key. Now we can choose whether to save it inside the user section of the fantom-x or inside a card if one is available. For my example, I will save it inside the user section of the fantom-x.